Alright, and we seem to be live right now. So, just give me a minute. I'm gonna start really soon, just give me a minute. I gotta, first of all, get HighFleet. Second of all, there's no second. It's just I gotta get HighFleet. That's all. So, hey, what is up, my fellow Tarkhans? I'm Captain Beans, and welcome to the second ever stream of this channel. Today we are going to be reviewing some of your guys' flagships, which the Discord server has submitted. The reason why I want to do that is because I want to start another campaign in Flight to Vera. And I figured it would be kind of funny if all of my ships were custom made by you guys. Because I'm gonna be completely real with y'all, my shipbuilding skills is basically the same as a monkey with a hammer. But anyway, let's get to the actual gameplay. The builds. Alright. So, now before I want to start, just a quick little thing to say real quick. Yeah, some of the builds here that you're going to see are actually vanilla builds from the vanilla game, which I have just imported into Flight to Vera. Which is why you might see some sort of fixing that needs to be done. But otherwise, most of these ships seem to be from Flight to Vera. So yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right. Hello vessel. Hello wingnuts. Neuronet. Let's go. Yes. Hello Mouse here. Mouse-chan. Hello. So the first ship that we're gonna start with is this ship called the Amarith, and if I'm not mistaken, this ship was actually designed by a guy called Nate. I don't know what their surname is, but I'm pretty sure they designed this ship right here. This thing has a as you can see, it has a couple of missiles on this thing, which I guess that kind of is funny, considering how absolutely useless cruise missiles are in Flight to Vera. One thing I would like to point out before we even just about cruise missiles in general, in Flight to Vera, I found out that regular cruise missiles are pretty useless, but if you use nuclear missiles, they are fairly effective. I found out that launching a nuclear missile at any strike group in Flight to Vera actually does a little bit of damage to that strike group, unlike the other kinds of missiles. So, you know what? It might be possible that we might see a little bit of that action in the actual campaign, but I don't know. I'm gonna be completely real. Alright, and yes, hello microscope. Hello. And OKB Suho Zdarova. Alright, so now the Amarith. From what I can see here, this ship is meant to be more as a strategical missile carrier. As you can see, it has a bunch of these R3N missiles, which the fact that he even put those missiles on here is just a complete meme, and I love it. We also have a couple of A100 missiles. Those are actually pretty useful if you want to intercept enemy aircraft, which, by the way, in Flight to Vera, there is a lot of enemy aircraft that could be coming after you. Also a lot of cruise missiles, but we don't talk about that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 A100 missiles. We have... Ooga booga! I see nuclear missile. I go ooga booga. We also have a couple of Ha-15N missiles, which, by the way, the letter N, for those who don't know, stands for not a nuclear warhead. But yeah, that's we have 6 of those here, which are below the sides of the ship, as you can see here. The R3Ns, I mean, they could be useful, but I guess you could replace these ones with the Ha-15Ns. I guess it would make the ship a little bit more practical, because you don't really use R3N a lot. You do use, however, the Ha-15 a lot, which, I mean, they probably added those missiles for fun anyway, so who gives a shit? So in terms of offensive capability, we have a bunch of missiles. We have like, how many? We have like 12 different kinds of missiles for absolutely bombarding the enemy. Ayo, Mohammed I'm really sorry. Mohammed Ahmed, what's up, bro? And okay, in terms of radar and sensor capability, I can see that this ship is quite formidable because, of course, you have the topmost radar up top there. Pretty good. I guess it works. We also have 2 of these big fire control radars, which they provide tracking, which they provide the full tracking range of 450 kilometers. Meaning that if anything gets within that range, missiles, planes, strike groups, telemachus, then I could just completely and really easily just grab any of these missiles that you can see within those missile racks right here, and then just, you know, launch it at them, kablooey, and everything goes whee, flying away. That's if you're using the fun types of missile. If you're using the other types of missile, chances are enemy sprints will absolutely decimate it. There's not even a point. Right. Yeah, so we got radar. That stuff sends out radar beams, I'm sorry. Then it receives signal back and it tells if there is an enemy or not. Enemies can see that, however, so this one most likely we're going to be switching off during our campaign. Same goes with the FCR, because those work with the radar. Elint, on the other hand, it seems quite obstructed. This one's not really obstructed on the starboard side. This one's a bit obstructed, but I'm assuming it's because of the armor right there. Elint is pretty important on a flagship. It tells you where anything with a radar signature is, kind of. It gives you a really rough angle, and it's not perfect. But the fact that the designer put 2 of these elints on either side is quite good, because it gives almost a full range of elint, and that's quite important on a flagship. Now, are we seeing any thermal sensors on this ship? I'm really curious. Are we seeing any thermal sensors on this ship? Speaking of... Yeah. The funniest thing is, when I was like testing the settings from the stream, I played this one, and I did not realize that by switching the game from original to Flight to Vera, it also switched the file of the actual voice line in the program as well, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, that is the IRST alert for Flight to Vera. Oh, one thing I'm really noticing that's quite jumping at me, it's the escape pods. As if you're gonna need those if you're getting absolutely nuked by enemy strike groups. I'm not sure if these guys are going to survive, but the fact that escape pods don't require any power is actually a good decision made by the shield bearer himself, the designer of the mod. Is shield bearer even here on the stream? Let me check. I mean, he doesn't seem to be here, but if you guys do see shield bearer on stream, be sure to say hi to him, because he did design the mod. He did ultimately came up with the whole idea of this mod anyway. And part of the reason why these texture packs exist, which I like it better than the original. Alright, so, I mean, as a flagship, this ship is already looking quite solid because of its strategical missile capability and also its strategical sort of detection capability. The only thing I'm not seeing is the IRST sensors, but I guess that doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. I'm guessing this ship relies on having its radar turned on and being able to defend itself, rather than thermal signature detected all the time. The only armaments that I'm seeing here are a couple of these M88 Razor cannons, which are water-cooled 57mm guns, which they are constantly firing, but at a slower fire rate. So having a bunch of those is quite nice, because you're basically constantly shooting 57mm artillery at the enemy. Personally, I don't know if I like to use these because of its slow fire rate and also its really small volume of fire. It only has one barrel, so it pretty much just fires like one round at a time. It's like boom, 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 boom. Right? Hold up. There we go. The other armaments that I'm seeing here are a bunch of these R60 Grom cannons, which are 100mm crew-loaded cannons. So these don't require any ammo autoloaders. They only require power to operate, which is very nice. That means that it'll give this ship at least a little bit of survivability on the basis that it doesn't have a lot of ammo, which, by the way, here is the ammo. It's close to the bridge, which, I mean, I guess I can't really complain about that, but it would have not hurt to put those just a little bit closer to the bridge. I mean, look, good job on designing this ship. The ammo racks have to be a little bit closer. Oh wait, the Razor has 2 barrels. Oh... Thank you, Mr. Vessel, for pointing this out. Yeah, it does have 2 barrels. I am completely sorry. I am I am blind as fuck. But yeah, but still, the Razor doesn't have a lot of fire rate, and hence it doesn't have too much of a firepower. But the fact that it does keep firing constantly means that you could still fire at aircraft and it'll hopefully get destroyed. All right. Now, the big thing that I guess is jumping out so much on this ship is probably these fuel tanks right here. There's a lot of them, pretty much almost exactly the same size as the vanilla Sevastopol. Hey, Sevastopol. But in Flight to Hara Vera, having so many fuel tanks actually gives the ship quite insane range. I'm not sure if you guys can see over there. It has a range of 23853 kilometers. Interpret this number how you will, but 24,000 kilometers is a pretty good range for a flagship, which I guess I'm not going to complain about, even despite having a slightly slower speed than 200 kilometers per hour, which I actually set as a requirement. But I'm going to be completely real. Almost no one met that requirement. Almost no one met any requirements that I set. So, I guess we're just gonna choose who's the best anyway. Now, we also see a couple of side-mounted RD-59 thrusters. Those are good for maneuvering, of course, obviously. And at the bottom, we are seeing a whole bunch of NTR Nerva engines. These are unique to Flight to Hara Vera, and these are basically nuclear-powered thrusters. These don't require a lot of fuel. They don't eat a lot of fuel, but they do require a lot of power to operate. Hence, you can see all of these generators that are just covering the entire ship. Which, I mean, generators are pretty good armor, so that's actually also quite nice. It's a nice touch. And what does this mean for statistics and other stuff like that? Nuclear engines typically give you a much larger range because they don't eat a lot of fuel. And especially with these fuel tanks right here, these nuclear engines are going to carry this flagship a long ways. I mean, that's why this flagship has such an insane range anyway. And a low fuel consumption too. That's quite important. Why? Mr. Vessel also says you cannot buy them. Oh yeah, that's also one thing that you should really keep in mind if you are building a ship with nuclear engines, is that you cannot buy these. You cannot anyhow receive them throughout the entire campaign. And what makes this even worse is that these things explode when they get destroyed. So I'm not exactly sure. Now that I think about it, having a bunch of these at the very bottom of the ship. No, just hold up. Just look at this, okay? Bridge. All right, there's a bridge. Okay, it's at the bottom of the ship, right? Plus is it is resistant to airstrikes. This ship can survive airstrikes for a long time because the bridge is below everything else, and that means airstrikes pretty much cannot just, you know, bridge destroy and instantly kill the ship. Minuses, however, is that look at there's a couple of ammo boxes, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nuclear thrusters, which they explode when they get destroyed. And also, as Mr. Vessel points out very nicely, let's just also hope that these landing gears right here also work. Because if they don't, and the ship, you know, it touches the ground with its belly, the whole thing will just blow up. All of these missiles are going to be launched simultaneously in all directions, which I guess that could be a good thing. I guess you could. I mean, you could pretty much just finish the campaign like that. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, this is a pretty solid ship, though. Despite the fact that it doesn't have a lot of armor, it does have a lot of barrage systems to protect it, I guess to some degree, from artillery. This ship, I do see it as a pretty solid, like, strategical carrier, cruiser type thing. It's not mainly designed to go into combat, but I can see that the designer at least thought about it, just in case, what if shit hits the fan? What if this flagship winds up in battle? Or at least it has to intercept a couple of missiles. The only thing I'm not really seeing here are R9 sprint missiles. Hold the fuck up. What am I seeing here? Hello? Are those R5C cluster missiles? Are those cluster bombs? On the sides of the ship? Oh, I did not see those when I was looking at this ship. For those who don't know, these missiles right here, they basically come close to an enemy, then they explode, and they launch a whole bunch of cluster bombs just out, radially kind of. And if any ship comes close into contact with one of those bombs, it explodes and basically tears any reinforced or regular hull. So these missiles are definitely way overpowered against lighter ships which don't have any armor. But against armor, these missiles are pretty useless anyway. A Geneva suggestion, I see. Very correctly said by Okebe Suho. And also, Microscope says, this kills the Fennec. Which I guess that's also true. I mean, as I said before, light ships don't have any armor. And these things pretty much shred armor. Unarmored ships. I can't speak today, bro. proximity fuse missiles. I mean, they don't really work against enemy projectiles. They work mainly against ships. But I guess in a way you could consider those as proximity rockets. Just boom boom. And Mouse-chan also, as a Swiss, I confirm that the Geneva suggestions are indeed suggestions. There we go. We have officially heard the neutrality from the official neutral sources. And now that we are done, I guess, looking at this ship, I am going to test it just a little bit, just to see how it is in combat. Missile defense, I'm not really seeing any R9 sprint missiles on this ship, so I'm probably not going to test it against missiles. Doesn't really stop or hurt to try it, though. Let's first test out the combat of this. Do I want to go large ships? Well, if I go large ships, they're going to launch Altairs at me, which are almost an instant kill. Or not kill, but, I mean, they do a lot of damage, but... let's do a mix. What is this matchup? We have a Memnon, a Vernar, and the Phoenix. The three of the most annoying ships in the game. Alright, let's go, bitches. Okay. The 57mm is not really doing too hot at stopping the missiles. Guys, we are mildly being attacked right now. All I'm saying is this Memnon has a little bit of firepower that he is launching at me. And I don't seem to have a lot of firepower to launch at him back. Also, holy shit, the game is so loud. I gotta turn down the game. I am really sorry, guys. I gotta switch. I gotta turn down the game a little bit. Also, yeah, keep the music down because apparently music in Flight to Hara Vera is copyrighted, so that's a shame. I did get copyright striked a little bit, but that's fine. That's okay. Those problems were solved. Reduce the graphics slider by like 2 notches. The skip frames thing is problematic. Oh shit. Is that true? Am I actually seeing a lot of dropped frames? Oh damn. That is a problem. That is a big problem. You know what? For the sake of keeping the gameplay more or less, I will. Okay, now performance. There we go. I'm also going to reduce the flashes just a little bit. Otherwise, you know, we'll keep the game as normal. This should be alright. Should be alright now. Okay. Now, what was I going to say about this ship? Oh yeah. From the little combat test that I saw, it doesn't really have a whole lot of capability in terms of combat. It does have the 57mm guns, which can destroy planes and potentially missiles. But, yeah, I'm not really seeing any sprint missiles on this ship, which could be a limitation. If you are going to build a strategic flagship, you gotta have at least a couple sprint missiles. You never know if a couple of cruise missiles are going to get into your flagship. But yeah, otherwise, this ship actually does a fairly good enough job at keeping a whole bunch of missiles, very fun kinds of missiles, giving it an insane range, albeit at a slightly slower speed. That's fine. And keeping somewhat within a workable budget of only 256,000 gold coins, which this is not as expensive as the other ships that we're going to see. Mr. Vessel says a couple sprint missiles. Bet. Oh, I know why you're saying that. Because yeah, we'll get to more ships later on. But yeah, this is the Amarith designed by, I believe, Nate. Thank you, Nate, for designing this ship. I might actually consider thinking of getting one of these into the campaign. I might modify it to add a couple of sprint missiles and maybe keep only a couple of these cluster bombs, because they're not too super effective against armored ships. But against small ships, who gives a shit? I mean... So yeah, Amarith. The only thing I would probably also change is probably the landing gear placement. Having landing gear sort of out like this, on such a vulnerable spot, I mean, having such a little lip for landing gear, it's not a good idea, because it can get easily shot off and... oh, landing gear is destroyed. So, yeah. Otherwise, a very solid design again. Good overall design. Very strategical design. I do appreciate the strategical thinking behind this ship. You know what, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is a good ship. Isvork. Alright? Alright, so the next ship, we have the Astron CSC. This one, it's this guy right here. Now this ship right here kind of looks like a flagship. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Red Crown, that's actually a really good thing that you've just pointed out. So he says, I was wondering why there's 2 fire control radars with no radar guided armaments. Yeah, the other ship didn't really have any R9 sprint missiles, but it did have, what was it called? Fire control radars. I'm assuming that's for detecting the enemy and using the A200s, A100s, and basically launching your cruise missiles at the enemy when they get close. Now, now this ship right here. What is this called again? The Astron. This one was designed by Mr. Vessel. That is Nuke Vessel H. He's in the chat of this stream. Be sure to say hi to him as well. That is your ship, by the way. So I am going to roast it very nicely. You know, the funniest thing also, this kind of also reminds me of some of the ships that you get in Nebula's Fleet Command, which is a game that I've recently gotten into. It's a very, very difficult game, but we'll get to that later. Now, this ship, as you can see here, let's start from the bow. We have a couple of regular RD-51 engines pointing, I guess, out from the bow. I'm guessing that gives it a bit of a maneuverability to the, I guess, back, or going aft, I guess. A couple of maneuverable thrusters, very nice. We have a couple more here, and also some back here. At the stern, we also have 3 of these RD-51 thrusters. That's what reminds me of the Nebula's Fleet Command ships, that whole look of like this spaceship, you know? Having thrusters at the bow and stern. You know, because in space, you have to like decelerate and accelerate in the other direction. Yada yada yada. Space science. And yes, Malzahir or Homeland University Press, those are retro thrusters. I'm pretty sure those are what I have just exactly described, I'm pretty sure. Now, one thing I also want to point out, because that's just the way Mr. Vessel designs his ships. Look at this. Look at this right here. So besides these absolute chonkers of fuel tanks, we also have a whole bunch of fuel lines all around the ship, connecting all of the thrusters to the fuel tank, which it's really actually really cool and really sort of technological and like aesthetic in a way. But in HighFleet, you're bound to have a lot of fires on this ship. I'm gonna be completely real with you. There's gonna be a lot of fires. Also, these ammo autoloaders. I mean, I know they're armored, but still, having ammo. Anyway, I'm skipping the main points here. We do have another missile silo right here at the bow of the ship. We have 4 Ha-15 missiles, just the lame kind of missiles with just a normal lame-ass kind of warhead. I wouldn't even call it a warhead, it just goes boom boom. Now, we also have A-100 missiles at the bottom. Those are good for intercepting stuff, as I said before. Ooh, these missiles right here, A-200 Altairs. Here. These are unique to this mod. These are... Wait, actually no, these are not unique to this mod. I'm pretty sure these were added to the mod by the shield bearer, but really that's just a separate mod in itself, in a way. I'm pretty sure. But the A-200 Altair is basically... It's kind of fast, and it kind of works like an A-100, except you can also fire this one in tactical combat. So in close quarters, you can launch those. You could use those against enemy cruise missiles and aircraft in strategical maps as well. However, one little thing about this ship, this missile, is that it has a very small radar cone. It has like about this much of like radar to be able to reliably detect anything on the strategical map, without guidance, of course. So I'm gonna put that right back in there. That's where it belongs, right in the basement. I'm yet to play Flight to Hara. Is it local meta to build these chunky boys? Red Crown? Absolutely not. It is not meta, absolutely, to build such huge, overpriced ships. Which I don't even know how survivable they are, considering I haven't even properly tested. Well, I did test the other ship from before. It's okay, but it shouldn't see any combat. This ship, however, looks really survivable. But if you really wanted to make a meta Flag to Hara ship, it would look something like this. Bridge, fuel tanks, thrusters in the middle of it, and maybe just a couple of missiles, maybe some artillery, maybe optionally some armor, but otherwise. Oh, and also don't forget the sprints. Cover every single ship that you have with sprints. Those work. Oh yeah, one thing I also want to point out, which also that's kind of funny, I just realized, the A-200 Altairs, they are typically launched from... Oh, hello. Why is my camera not working? Hello? Bruh. What the hell? I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, I think I'm back. I don't know, something just happened to my... Something happened to my camera real quick. I have no idea. Now, one thing that I would also like to point out... Oh wait, those are Ha-15P missiles. Ah, so there's not only A-200s. Huh, that's interesting. What I was gonna say is that maybe it's better if you put the 800 Altairs at the top of these missile silos. That way, if you get into close combat, at least if you have a couple of Altair missiles, you can at least launch them in close combat, should you need to do that. But, I mean, if you're already getting close into combat with a flagship, then that means everything else has failed. So, you know. Alright. Anyway, that's not the entire ship. We also have a whole bunch of, first of all, cluster missiles. Those are the guys that I've talked about before. These are just regular R5 Zenith missiles. One thing to keep in mind is that R5 Zenith missiles are much faster in this mod. They travel pretty quickly. Same goes with these missiles right here. These are R6 Nadir missiles. These are designed for mainly armor penetration. The idea is that this missile is really fast, and it is, I guess, bigger in a way. And it's meant to be against larger ships, because R5 Zenith missiles, they are explosive. And if I'm not mistaken, they have almost the same power as a 180mm shell. Whereas the R6 Nadir missiles, they have a armor piercing capability. Which I guess these could be useful against large ships. Again, you know, because they typically have armor. Unlike the ships that we've seen before. We have a whole bunch of R9 sprint missiles right here at the very at this main deck right here, with the weather deck I should probably say. We also have a bunch of them below, in the below area. Very nice. We also have a whole bunch of T7s as fighter... no, these are supersonic jet fighter interceptors. Yes. Those are good for intercepting things at long range in strategical map if you equip them with AAMs. Or, alternatively, in Flight to Hara, there's also 57mm aircraft cannons, which I haven't really used them before, but as far as I'm aware, they are useful against enemy aircraft. They simply do more damage, as far as I'm aware. And now, in terms of sensors, we have radar at the very top. I'm gonna assume the radar at the top is going to be a very common theme around here, because radar is... it does work. No matter what anyone says about radar, how useless it is and stuff like that, it does actually work. If you have it, you switch it on, there is a way of detecting enemies, which are slightly further away than... thermal signature detected. Also, again, the double big FCR modules, fire control radars, these actually do power the R9 sprint missiles, and they will guide them towards any flying foreign object that is flying into the ship. In terms of ELINT, we have pretty much a fully unobstructed ELINT capability. Well, we have double ELINTs. One is pointing this way, one is pointing that way. But yeah, we have unobstructed ELINT, we have unobstructed radar, we have pretty much almost an unobstructed FCR. Oh no, we have a fully unobstructed FCR. Now, IRST. We also have thermal sensors. Wait, where are they? Okay, there's one at the bottom right here on the... exactly where the thrusters are, as God intended. Here is also another one. Yes, there we go. There we go. Again, right next to the thrusters, just as the almighty Kashutin has intended. We... Anyway, moving on. Now, With all of these missiles and all of these planes and stuff like that, this is also a pretty strategical flagship, despite the fact that this one is a lot more armored. I would assume this ship is a lot more survivable because of the armor, and also, bro, these ammo magazines right here, they are pretty armored with only a little angled way to get in, I guess. The fuel tanks, like, it's cool, but it's gonna create a lot of problems, which I guess are realistic, but still, it's gonna create a lot of problems if you get into close combat with this thing. Now, in terms of armaments, artilleria. Okay. Radar works especially if you want to intercept enemy 20 plane groups with interceptor ship. Yes, that's correct. Also, this gives you enough time to detach interceptor and catch the planes. Very correctly pointed out by Microscope. Yeah, radar is particularly useful for that reason. Also, cargo convoys. I'm not sure about you guys, but cargo convoys are pretty annoying, especially in flight to Hara Vera, because they too have planes and missiles. For some reason. I mean, okay, these guys, I get it. They need protection. They need a way to look at their enemies as well. But they're fucking civilians. They're not exactly special military operators. Okay, now that those jokes are out of the way. The main armaments that we're seeing here are, again, the M88 Razor, 57mm water-cooled cannons right here. We don't see any more armaments right here, which that's kind of a shame. I would honestly put at least one, maybe Gao 130 Falx, which is a rapid-firing 130mm gun. Very nice gun, by the way. This has to be one of the most meta guns in the mod, because 130mm, it does more damage than 100s, and also has a good fire rate and good reload time, everything like that. It does cost a lot and to operate and to do stuff like that, but at least I would try to put maybe 1 or 2 on this ship. You know, just in case I need to boom, boom, boom someone, you know? And yes, Mr. Vessel, you did miss a whole bunch of artilleria. You did miss a whole bunch of it. Alright, we good. And also one other benefit that I've also realized by looking at the chat is that having artilleria is also good because you can use proximity fuses to intercept missiles, planes, stuff like that. All right, now, you know, let's test this out in combat. Let's see how this one works. Let me just replace those missiles in there for just a second. You know, I replaced the A200 Altairs, so you know, let's just see how this thing works. Nothing too crazy. Let's just. Okay, maybe nothing too crazy. At least we don't have a Memnon right now. Wait, hold up. Mr. Russell says that this is an outdated version. Okay, good that you pointed this out, but I am going to test this design in combat anyway, because I don't give a singular flying monkey. Let's see if I can use an Altair maybe on this guy. And this Savage just completely ruined it by using his R9 sprint missiles. That was not very cool of you. That was not very Hara Vera of you. 999. Also, we are being a little bit blasted by some of the enemy artillery right here. I mean, the 57mm guns, they're actually doing something. If you look at the Sava below, you'll actually notice that I am damaging his starboard side a little bit. Not too much, though. But I am getting through his weaknesses, cracks, and holes. So, yeah. Okay, I mean... Okay, you know what? I take it back. 57mm guns are actually pretty damn good. If you manage to penetrate the enemy already. Oh, generator damage. You should... Like I give a fuck. Don't forget to shoot all of the escape pods that you see. Or rather, these are not escape pods. These are landing pods. That's what the enemy uses to land their marines to board your ship and to wreak havoc on your crew. So, you know, you have to prevent those things from happening. Wait, I just realized. What the hell am I doing? I have missile. I have missile. Oh look, those are the cluster missiles working. Oh, that's Telemachus right here. That right there is the ship that I hate the most. I don't know about you guys, but this annoying little shit with aircraft aloft it is the single most annoying ship in the entire flight to Hara Vera. Not even because it's annoying, but because it's just unreasonably overpowered. Like, why the hell can you intercept all cruise missiles that are coming at you? That's insane. I don't like that. This ship has to be nerfed. Use the sprints. Oh yeah, that's right. I also have sprints. Oh my god. Oh shit, this guy's using rockets. Rocket. Why does he have so many rockets? Why? Oh my god. Also, this Ressus guy is so armored. You'd think that this guy would actually make a decent living on any streaming platform just by showing his fat ass. Okay, I am being officially stern raked right now. That's not normally a position that I would find myself in very often. And not always is it enjoyable. Holy shit, this ship is actually really survivable. I'm taking so much damage, but... Bro, what? It's almost as if armor is working. It's almost as if I have armor on this ship that soaks up a lot of the damage from enemy artillery. Now you blew the Telemachus' top off. Oh really, did I? Well, he deserves that, because he has blown off a lot of my missiles before. So that makes sense. Nah, we're fine. We're fine. No, we did not just suffer an ammo explosion. No, it's not an ammo explosion, it's a... Wait, is that a... Wait, is that an engine fire that just caused the explosion? Bro, I know, I'm trying to use FSS as much as I can, bro. It just doesn't reach that part of the ship that's burning, bro. Holy shit, that Ressus is basically destroyed. Oh, damn. You'd think that having a whole bunch of 57mm guns doesn't do shit. It does quite a lot if you just have a lot of them. Also, Sava, can you please stop using armor piercing against me? That's very rude of you. That is not very cash money of you. Oh shit, I'm about to suffer an ammo explosion. I can't put it out. Bro, put the fire out. Come on. Okay, no, let's at least kill the Resus. And now I officially cannot fire anymore. Yeah, I just lost all of the ammo. I can't fire anymore. You know what that means? Ramming order. Ramming order. Come here. Come here. Resus. I'm about to ram you so hard. You're gonna like it. Ooh. I go down with the ship. All right. So that was the... What's this ship called? The Astron. Designed by Mr. Vessel, Mr. Nuke Vessel H. This is actually a really nice ship. The stats for it are, I guess, decent. But it's probably because... oh, there are a couple of nuclear engines here, I'm noticing. Ah, that's what must have caused the fires and explosions, the boom boom. Oh... Oh, I guess that's what happened. So I'm guessing the lesson here is don't be above the enemy when you're fighting with this ship. Be on either sides, or you could even try bottom fighting. But bottom fighting, you'll risk accessing the ammo modules right here, which I guess, I mean, they're armored, but it's still fine. Alright, so that was the Astron. Very nice strategical capability ship. Oh, I didn't even test the planes out in combat. But I mean, they don't really do too much in combat anyway. So I guess that's fine. It is also slightly over budget, what I initially intended to put as the budget for the flagship. But still, pretty solid. This one is a lot more survivable than the previous ship that we have seen, despite the fact that it doesn't have such an insane range of flight. And yes, you are supposed to bow tank, simply because you know how that works. Yeah, okay, I figured. I figured after playing a little bit of Nebulous Fleet Command, after learning how to play a big ship with a similar design to this one right here, I figured that maybe bow facing the enemy is a slightly better option. Okay, I'll talk about the other game later on maybe. Alright, the next ship that we're going to move on to is... Oh, before I do that actually, I'm gonna say this ship is work. Now, the next ship is called the EC Sublimate M. This one... aircraft carrier. This one is called the EC Sublimate. This one was designed by Okebe Suho. I'm pretty sure he is in the chat. If you will, please make yourself present in the chat right now, as I am going to just maybe take off a couple of planes from this ship. The main problem with this ship is that it doesn't have enough ammo to cover everything. Because this ship right here is a vanilla build. This was originally designed as a vanilla aircraft carrier flagship. Hence, we had a bit of an ammo shortage, but that's fine. I just fixed that right now. So now, this ship, it looks as goofy as this thing looks. It's actually quite impressive. It has all of these huge fuel tanks right here, basically combining two Sevastopols into one ship in terms of fuel tanks. At the bottom here, we're seeing a lot of RD-51 thrusters. These are what power the ship to go upwards. Oh, whoa. Wow, no, that price tag. I didn't know you could go that far on the price. Makinov, honestly, I am really surprised too. The fact that some people here went just mildly over budget. It's really funny how people went just slightly over budget on these builds. This one probably has to take the cake in terms of pricing, and that's probably because of all of these planes right here. Look, it's just too many planes. Actually, never too many planes, because they get shot down easily. So not too many. Can they all take off? I don't know. I would like to find out though. I mean, look, these sides are kind of covering them up a little bit. Also, look at the amount of sprints that this ship has. There's a whole bunch on that side and a whole bunch on the port side as well. Oh, damn. Now, I did test out this ship before in just like a VC chat in terms of how well it is able to stop cruise missiles, and I have to say there's a lot of ways to stop cruise missiles before it even gets close to this ship. First of all, planes. Second of all, we have a bunch of these A200 Altair missiles right here, just to show you guys. These are good at intercepting stuff. We also have R3. Just regular R3 missiles? What? Why do we need to do that? Oh, I'm assuming that's for garrisons. If you want to weaken a garrison, or if there's like a heavy garrison ship, maybe you want to launch a couple of those missiles in there. Otherwise, I don't see much of a point. We have a whole bunch of HighFleet missiles. HighFleet P-type missiles. Those are anti-radiation. Those lock onto enemy radar signatures or jamming. We have a whole bunch of those. And also, yeah, also not to count the absolute sprint galore of this ship. The only problem that I can see here is that if the sides of the ship get destroyed, then all of the sprints are gone. That's the only problem that I can see here, which I actually did notice when I was testing this ship against cruise missiles. Off camera, that was in a VC session. But basically, I launched a whole bunch of missiles at it. It handled pretty well. It stopped a whole bunch of regular missiles, and when I sent in the spicy kinds of missiles, the kind that I really enjoy sending at my enemies, the ship survived surprisingly well. And that's because, as you can see here, there's a lot of flight decks on the sides of the ship. For those who don't know, flight decks are nuclear resistant, and so you can basically use this as armor. And the designer basically has a whole bunch of armor unintentionally on the sides of the ship. Which that's one thing I noticed whilst testing it. So in terms of cruise missile test, I've already tested it before. It would take a while to test it right now, but I can safely say that this thing can stop cruise missiles very well through a variety of different ways. In terms of tactical combat, we can see that this ship has AK-100s over here, there's two of them, and otherwise I'm not seeing any more guns on this ship. Wait, hold up. There's only two AK-100s on this ship? Are you serious right now? Bro. Are you actually serious right now? Oh, wait, no, not 2, sorry. 4. I am idiot. I am le débile. Here we have 2 right here and 2 on the other side. Okay, yeah, there we go. 4 AK-100 100mm guns, perfect for air-to-air intercepts because you can equip those with proximity fuses, and those are extremely effective against aircraft. Yeah, I know, I noticed that. There's 4 of them, I noticed that, yep. I realized my stupidity. But yeah, if you arm 100mm proximity fuses, you can actually deal quite a bit of intercept damage. Which, by the way, you know what? Just for the sake of testing out if it can stop regular R5 Zenith missiles. I'm sorry about that. Equip this with proxy fuses, please. All right. Oh, it's so laggy. All right. I'm gonna shoot at this centaur that's below me because he is below me, and I don't really like for that to happen. He's also shooting at my ship, which I guess that's kind of rude, but I guess that's understandable. So far, they're not sending any missiles? Guys, can you please send missiles just so that I can test it out? Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. So that Adrax right there, which is that armored ship, just sent a 800 Altair at me, and I've managed to intercept it with a salvo of 100mm proximity fuses. So yes, this ship can definitely stop an Altair with proximity fuses if you proceed to aim properly, and also if you actually shoot at the missile. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna have to finish the combat here, because that was kind of the point of testing its interception capabilities. Alright, but despite the lack of firepower in terms of artillery, we have a whole bunch of aircraft. Which, holy shit, that is a lot of aircraft. I did see a couple of some of the super duper hyper carriers that people designed in the HighFleet community, but yeah, this one I think has to go at least in that category. Very commendable work. You know, the funniest thing is, I just realized this is actually true. Like, I'm not even kidding, bro. Okube Suhovo, the designer of this ship, has one of the most performance-based PCs I've ever seen. Like, bro, like, if any cruise missile flies into his ship that is like larger than, I don't know, Sevastopol, it basically just sends his screen into the abyss, as he says. And I don't know, like, even HighFleet runs really slow on his PC, which the fact that even that is happening and he designed such a ship like this, it's commendable. Everyone give a round of applause. Woo! And yeah, I'm gonna also give a little bit of a well, that's because I don't really have a really good sound for applause. Now, from the sensors, I can see that we are still keeping up with the theme of radar on top. Very nice. Eland, partially obstructed, but still operable. Again, 2 FCRs, fully unobstructed, facing either side. And we also have the thermal sensors, this time on top of the ship, away from the thruster heat of the ship. I don't know how to react to that, and I won't. So, But I am going to say that this is a pretty interesting way of making a tower. Just say horizontal, like Stieg. Stieg. Now, one thing I also did notice is, or I guess I knew, is that the designer did also make a nuclear version of this ship, which I would only assume costs somewhere in the 800,000 gold coin region. I mean, just look at that price. Wait, hold up, just a second. 717,180. That's the price of this ship. That is like nearly twice the allowed starting budget with bonus. To be honest, I don't see any contradictions here. This flagship can easily fit into any campaign. You just gotta give them a little bit of money, that's all. I mean, we always have the budgeteering department. I'll call them later, but yeah, we'll worry about that in a bit. Alright, now that was the Sublimate. It's a very good strategical ship though. It is, I would assume that if you buy up all of the aircraft ammunition, so bombs, rockets and stuff like that, you could easily like make just one of the biggest airstrikes ever. This ship would be extremely satisfying to see in the end game when I am just absolutely bombarding everyone with just aircraft strikes, boom boom, bombs flying everywhere, you know, rockets being launched from T7, stuff like that. Also, plane to plane combat too, as painful as it is actually quite interesting and satisfying to watch, you know, planes, huge amounts of planes. So yeah, in terms of actually being able to bring this into the campaign, I might actually bring this one. I'll figure out a way to do that. And yeah, I would honestly love to bring it just because of the sheer entertainment of watching the aircraft strikes. Alright, now, I would like to tone this one down just a little bit. Let's move on to the next ship of this stream. There's actually not a lot of flagships that have been submitted by this Discord server, and it's understandable. Flagships are difficult to design, especially depending upon what kind of flagship you need. You know, personally for me, my best flagship was just a fucking tanker with sensors on top of it. And that's it. And yeah, that's the, what I call the Oleg. But yeah. Alright, what is the next ship that we are actually going to see? Okay, Sublimate, Fearsome, Gepard, Gladiator. Ooh. The next one is going to be hella interesting. Oh, get prepared, guys. Guys, just... I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but you gotta pull your diapers up, bro. This ship is gonna be... Ooh. So here is the Helsinki, designed by Mouse-chan. Feel free to say hello to everyone, Mouse-chan, which I'm sure you already did like an hour ago. But I mean, who cares? Also, one thing that Mouse has asked me to do is to read the lore that is associated with this flagship. Let me just pull this up real quick. On the Discord on a different device because I can't really do it here, unfortunately. So, okay. Wait, hold up. Can I just like fucking bring my fucking laptop right here? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna read this one. Helsinki Battle Cruiser. Helsinki class battle cruiser. The Helsinki class is among the most controversial ships of the Mouse fleet, trading armor and protection. For speed and agility for a ship of her size, the Helsinki is impressively maneuverable, and it also has state-of-the-art anti-air systems with a triple-layered anti-air defense, She is also equipped with a revolutionary revolving missile silos to increase the survivability of the missile tubes. However, the Helsinki is criticized for its thin armor layout and also rather expensive to maintain and operate. Alright, that was the description of that ship. That is the Helsinki class battle cruiser. Now, the things that were mentioned there, if first things first, is the missile silo system. You'll notice that this missile silo right there is open. And that's because that's sort of meant to be like a rotating system. In a way, it'll like... I'm guessing, is that like a magazine? I guess missiles just get pushed. As one gets fired, another one gets loaded into the firing tube. And, you know, stuff like that. Which, okay. This ship carries 4 HighFleet missiles, or HighFleet missiles, if you will. This ship is also very interestingly designed because it's just so long boy. Which there's nothing wrong with having a long design. The only problem with having a long design is that there's a lot of area to be hit, especially when enemies are firing from above. From the sides, however, this ship doesn't seem to have such a huge profile. It does have a very sleek profile though, despite the size, of course. The bridge and the tower right here are pretty solid. It is decently armored, and also... Oh, we'll talk about the sensors later on. The bridge is actually located closer to the top of the ship, unlike the other two that we've seen so far. This could potentially risk having anything dropped right on top of the bridge, but that's okay. That's completely fine. We don't... Wait, what is OSHA? I've never heard of that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's definitely some sort of yapping going on. I'm not... Look, I'm a yapster, but not so much, alright? Okay, hold up. I need to bring up the chat real quick. Alright, so... right. There's a lot of messages that I haven't read through, but just give me a second, I'll read through all of them. So, Mr. Vessel says that, hey, I also contributed. Yeah, one thing I would also like to say about this ship specifically is that Mr. Vessel modified the original design of the Helsinki into Flight to Hara. Originally, this design was meant to be vanilla, but Mr. Vessel did the actual converting from vanilla to Flight to Hara. So thanks to him as well. Everyone give him this one, or as we do in the Beans Navy, we give him Captain Brick. Captain Brick. Everyone brick react him. Man, I wish you could import custom emojis into YouTube as well. That would be hella fun. That would be hella funny. Just everyone just brick reacting each other, how we do in our server as well. Okay, let's not get distracted too much. One thing that this ship extremely excels is the armament. As you can see here, it has a lot of AK-100s. Solid amounts of 100mm caliber artilleria. We have a whole bunch of those. We have a whole bunch of these turrets right here. That is the 57mm Spag turrets. Those are basically the Wimpels that you get in the vanilla game, but they fire at like twice the fire rate. So these ones are actually a lot more fun to shoot than the Razor. And also beside that, we are also seeing a couple of my babies, the MK6 180 Shkval turrets. Those shoot 180mm shells at whatever you are pointing at. These turrets, if you have no idea what these do, basically that is the definition of... Hey, Private, you see that enemy in that direction? Yes, sir. Remove that direction. Basically, that's what the Shkval does. It basically removes the direction of where the enemy is. If the enemy is not in that direction, if there is no direction, then the enemy is not in that direction. That means there's no enemy. Alright, you know what? Let's just test it in combat. I don't give a shit. I want to test it out in combat. Also, I'm not doing too crazy of a test because I don't want to take up too much time, and also having too many ships can be pretty bad for both PC and also a stream. Okay, Memnon is actually a pretty good match for this ship, so you know, let's go. Memnon. Hello, Memnon. Where's Memnon? Oh no, first we have to fight the Zephyr class missile carrying cruisers. And as you can see, much better firepower than we've seen before. I'm also gonna safely shoot out all of their artillery because they are pretty annoying with it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Altairs. And I did not block that Altair despite shooting at it so much. Come on, intercept that missile. Okay, luckily all of the other missiles have been intercepted. That's good. The fact that the ship has a lot of artillery and sea whiz makes it quite nice for combat because, first of all, you can shoot at the enemy. That's always a very nice thing to do. But also, shooting at the enemy missiles and actually being able to reliably intercept those most of the time. Like maybe 80% of the time. Holy shit, my game is lagging so much. Oh, damn. Wait, hold up. Is it even showing up on the stream as well? I hope not. I hope it's not reflecting. Oh, shit. That's a lot of skipped frames. I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. If the stream is going to lag a little bit, I don't know if I can really do so much about that. My internet is poo-poo. And my web camera is gone again. Bro, can you please not shut down when I need you the most? Bro! Okay, I think I seem to be back now. Oh my god, bro. Bro, okay. I'm really sorry about that. Some technical difficulties there, but hopefully next time we're not gonna see those anytime soon. Whilst that was happening, we somehow got absolutely bombarded. I don't really recall how. But I guess I'll try to finish off that Memnon. Oh my god, bruh. Wait, what the hell? Cook off? Holy damn. Wait, what? Oh, bro. I really gotta seriously check what's wrong with the stream right now. I'm gonna be completely real with y'all. Oh, and we survived! Holy shit. That's funny. We actually survived the entire altercation, I guess. Oh my god. What is this? What is this delay? Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Oh, okay. Okay, now I think we're fine. I'm just being dumb. So alright. Now this is the Helsinki. It's very good at combat, as you probably saw there. We did go up against the strongest enemy in Flight to Hara Vera at that point, but that's fine. That's completely fine. Bravo 6 went dark. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, my camera kind of went out a little bit, but that's fine. We fixed that problem, I think. Right, now the next ship. Now, I just want to say that this ship is Vork. I might actually bring that one as well. I mean, just because it's just a good combat ship. If a flagship can fight, I might as well bring it too. Who gives a shit? I might bring the other one and this one. If you behave properly, I might actually probably bring both. That would be extra funny. Just like shitload of aircraft and artillery. Alright, now the next ship that we are going to review today. So now that's the Helsinki done. I feel like the ship is actually really solid. It's actually really good. I might actually consider bringing that one into the campaign. The next one that we have here is the Kaliningrad. Here it is in its full beauty right here. This one was designed by a guy who enjoys flagships, otherwise known as the flagship enjoyer. That's simply how they refer to call themselves, and they don't seem to disappoint with their name, because as you can see here, this is probably peak vanilla-ified HighFleet cruiser flagship. Basically a slightly different Sevastopol, but not really, because this is a slightly different ship. It's a completely different design, actually. Oh yeah. Oh shit. I'm sorry, bro. Aval engineer was good, bro. And Suzune also welcome. I know I didn't say it before. I did see you guys in chat. It's just that I got a little bit distracted halfway there. You know. Now this ship right here is the definition of Captain Brick. This ship deserves the Captain Brick promotion, or I guess the award, I guess, just because of how this looks. All right. Now, okay. So, if you'll excuse me for just a minute. There we go. Now, the ship here, in terms of armament, is very similar to the Helsinki. We have a couple of Shkval cannons on each side of the ship. We also have a Shkval on top of the gun right here, on top of the ship. And it's also on the radar tower, which is absolutely based. The best kind of sensor is the one that eliminates the enemy. Ah yes, the Romani Empire has only two allies. Artillery and the armor elements. Smelly radars can go fuck themselves. Honestly. Like, honestly, just get rid of those. And you'll be fine. You'll be completely fine. I'm kidding, of course. We don't need to do that, but this ship would definitely survive without it. Now, this ship has a lot of armor, as you can probably see here. Yeah, it has a lot of artillery, lots of fuel. Again, well, this is a vanilla design, so it's understandable why there's a lot of fuel tanks. If you were designing a ship from scratch in flight to Vera, you typically use less amounts of fuel, because things don't really consume as much in this mod. Thrusters at the bottom, thermal sensors right where the thrusters are. Very nice. Also here as well, I can see right here. The entire bottom of the ship is also full of thrusters. I guess that's a nice touch. I'm guessing the guy really needed that thrust to weight ratio of 1.7, a speed of 151 kilometers per hour, and a range of 4,200 kilometers. Oh damn, that range is actually really clean. Like, it's not a huge amount, but it is very clean. For a ship like this, it's actually quite nice and quite acceptable. Also, the price of the ship, we don't talk about that. let's just test this one out in combat as well. All right, let's go. Now this ship also has the 37mm Seawiz. I forgot to say that in the shipworks, but here it is. This ship also has a whole bunch of sprints, so I would assume I could use them in this combat right here, and I would assume those are for intercepting strategical cruise missiles in strategical missile gameplay. Oh shit, now we got the Memnon in the combat. Let's defeat the Zephyr, because this guy has, for sure, the Altair missiles, and he can launch those at my ship and pretty much damage me pretty nicely. It is a little bit hard to aim when your frames are dropping harder than dropping bricks. But then again, HighFleet is not a very optimized game in general, so I can't really do too much about that. Ooh, boom, boom. And I keep missing. Come on. Keep hitting this guy. Hit this guy. Let's go. I'm actually hitting him, more or less. I'm actually more or less hitting the enemy. I am more or less actually pounding the enemy. Wow. Let's go. The enemy is exploding very nicely. Oh, we lost a whole bunch of engines because an Altair just hit our bottom side. Oh, maybe that was a mistake, having to not focus on the Memnon whatsoever. Ah, shit. Now we're gonna get absolutely bombarded. But I'm not gonna go down without a fight. Rah! Rah! Just intercept all of these missiles right here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, that's right. I can use sprints to intercept those missiles as well. That's also a thing. Oh, they're using... Yep, I know, Mr. Vessel. I could have pressed C. It would have been that easy. It would have been that easy. But I didn't. You know why? Because I'm Captain Beans. But I mean, even despite not being intercepting many of those missiles, we haven't suffered a whole bunch of damage. I mean, our armor is completely unscathed. Our insides are completely untouched, which is very nice to hear. Very unlike what you would typically feel being in the Beans Navy, but I guess that will be in a later discussion. Alright, so from what I can see from the damage, the only parts that got damaged was the upper sprints rack and also the bottom thrusters. Otherwise, the ship held up really nicely. This is a really good fighter overall. But then again, I didn't really test it a whole lot from like really crazy stuff. So right. Right, here is the final look at the ship. My conclusion of this ship, very good fighter. The last two ships have actually been really good fighters. The Helsinki, this ship, and I'm also going to assume the next ship is also going to be a really good fighter. But otherwise, this is a very solid flagship. Despite the cost, it's pretty solid. Like, it has full sensor coverage, it has full firepower, it has full armor, everything. Sprints, stuff like that. Except for it doesn't have any planes or any cruise missiles of its own. But some people don't like to have that on a flagship. Some people prefer to have it in a separate carriers and stuff like that. Now, will you take the courier for your new campaign? Wait, hold up. I'm not reading the chat properly. Mr. Vessel says, will you take the courier for your next campaign, right? Maybe. But that is a discussion for a different stream. We're doing flagships now. The next stream we're gonna do light interceptors, because I feel like that is a very important type of ship, at least for me. Because those actually do get a lot of work done. But right now, flagship only. We're going in, we're doing the ships that go in balls deep, you know? Today is the balls deep episode. Yes. Alright, so now, this ship is work, and now let's select the next ship right here. This is the Kizilkum, L flight to Hara Vera. This ship right here is called the Kizilkum, and that is designed by a guy called Makinov. I'm pretty sure he is also in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, also the Avali engineer is also in the chat, and he says that I should check out the Storm next stream. Yeah, we'll get into that. Again, light interceptors in the next stream, but now it's only flagships. Also, yes, I did notice that this ship is short on ammo by 10 points. You know what, I'm just gonna put these two ammo modules right here. I'll put one ammo module like right there on the radar tower, because who cares? It will get exploded anyway. Also, it needs an extra generator, but that's no biggie. Just put one there, and it's good to go. And yes, Makinov says that I left some empty hull for extra ammo. Good on you. That's actually good on you, because that's what I intended to do. As you probably just saw right now, I just put a whole bunch of ammo and another generator. But yeah, basically this is a kind of a flagship. Well, it's a flagship. Who gives... No shit, Sherlock, bro. It has a whole bunch of sensors on it, kind of in a similar way to a Sevastopol. In this kind of like an armored, you know, like here, hey, there's a small eland there, but then there's also a big eland here kind of thing going on. It works, and it definitely is at least a little bit more cost effective in terms of radar and stuff like that. two FCRs. I feel like having two FCRs, a radar, also a jammer is actually really nice that you put there as well. This is also really good. It's quite handy. But having these three, it's kind of a staple if you want to be able to defend against cruise missiles and also prevent yourself from being on the receiving end of the most frightening enemy in the entirety of Vera. Drum roll, please. It is cargo convoys. But yeah, in all seriousness, it's good that all of the flagships that we've seen so far have radars on it. That's actually a really good thing. Elint as well, very nice. Also up aloft here, we have a kind of a segmented missile silo thing going on. HA-15 missiles, HA-15 missiles, HA-15P missile, HA-15P, HA-15P, and then here we go. Here we got the A100s, or I guess the A200 Altair missiles. I'm actually going to replace those with the proper Altair missiles because I'm pretty sure those are bugged. But yeah, Altairs are good for interception. These are good for everything else. Yes, we are the true engineering department. Yes, the Beans Navy Engineering Department only promotes the most innovative HighFleet shipbuilding in the entirety of Gerat. And that is undisputed. Undisputed. But yeah, jokes aside, this also has a whole bunch of fuel tanks. This one doesn't have as many as the other ones do, which is kind of following the Flight to Vera theme. As I told you before, things don't really consume fuel that much. That's why you'll notice ships in Flight to Vera don't have as much fuel. Now, the armaments are actually very similar to pretty much almost all cruisers that Makinov designed. And that is a whole bunch of D-80 Molot cannons, which shoot 130mm shells. And also, of course, we have the 37mm Seawiz, pretty much covering all angles of the ship, which is quite important for missile defense and also defense. And now Mr. Vessel's telling me you're 2 ammo over. I don't care. I'm willing to take the... I don't care. Extra ammo has never hurt anyone. There's no such thing as extra ammo, alright? I mean, bro, like... you're gonna shoot at the enemy anyway, so, you know, might as well. Also, similar to all of the designs from Makinov, you got a covered up bridge with armor from the top here, which that actually kind of makes sense because of the reinforced hull spaces sort of around the tower and stuff like that. That's to let the electricity pass for, first of all, the sensors up here, and also R9 sprint missiles, which are located up here, down here on this side, and also just a couple up here as well. And also here on the side as well. Now, having R9 sprint missiles on separate sides of the ship gives you the advantage that if one rack gets destroyed, the other ones are completely fine. Disadvantages, however, is that due to some angles, the sprints might actually have to travel over the ships or sometimes under the ship in order to actually reach the target missile. But that's not a huge deal. Usually it works. Usually, most of the time. Yeah, fix the speed, Mr. Vessel says. No, that's actually completely fine. This ship is 199 kilometers per hour. That is actually just 1 kilometer below the requirement that I set up, which is actually really nice. And the fact that you kept the budget at like 173,575. Yes, I finally read that correctly. But basically, the budget is below 200,000, which is good. The speed is 200 kilometers per hour, basically. 199 is basically 200 kilometers per hour. Range is 4,322 kilometers. It's actually almost, it's actually better than, I think, one of the ships that I reviewed today. Wait, hold up. Also, Mr. Avali... Oh, I can't call you Mr. I'm really sorry. The Avali engineer says, I'm mostly just bummed I didn't finish my flagship design in time for this stream. Don't worry about it. You'll get to design some really cool ships for this campaign. Light interceptors. You'll even get an opportunity to design a fighter cruiser. Just, you know, a brawler type ship, you know, something like the Novgorod that I designed before. A ship that's purely meant to fight strike groups. Or, I guess if you want to take inspiration, you could also think of something like the Odysseus from my Flight to Hara Vera normal difficulties series. Now, let's test out the Kizilkum in combat. Maybe I'll give it a slightly higher difficulty rating. Because, yeah, as you can see, already the Memnon is there. Alright, now, we do have a couple of, what was it called? Altair missiles. That's really nice. And it does have quite a bit of artillery. The only thing I would probably change about the armament is probably replace a couple of the Molot cannons with the... I'm sorry, the Falx guns. Which are the rapid-firing 130mm guns that I talked about before. Those are actually very powerful. Having a couple of those and a couple of Molots actually could make this ship really powerful. Even more powerful than it is now. Now this Ressus right here is very armored. That's why I'm gonna stay behind him and just completely pound him from above with my own artillery. Also, he's firing rockets at me, which is kind of rude. Very ungentlemanly. Also, he's using armor piercing, which he has the audacity to do that. Also. Resus, can you please die? Also, bro's trying to use cluster bombs against my armored flagship. like that's gonna work. Alright, now the Resus is down. Let's not forget the cleanup operation right after defeating an enemy ship. Yeah, just protocol, you know. Again, prevent the Marines from entering our ship and wreaking havoc aboard our crew. You know. Oh, there's the Memnon, by the way. Hello. Fancy seeing you again. Oh shit, I just realized my stern of the ship is quite nicely, how do I say, penetrated. I think I gotta move up and switch the side of the ship that I'm facing the actual enemy with. If this little Zirconian mofo could please get out of my way, that would be very appreciated. Down she goes. Ah yes, the guns went stupid moment. Yep, that pretty much happens almost all the time. If you get shot at a lot in this game, that's pretty much what happens if you get shot. Your guns start to act very weirdly. Okay, do I have any missiles? Oh. I have missiles! Oh my god! I have missiles! Holy shit! That's actually really nice. But that doesn't really matter, because I'm about to pound his ass from below with my artillery. And this guy's about to explode in front of my eyes very nicely. Just how I like it. Can you please intercept that missile, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, now please. Okay, now let's reach the center point. No, we're good. Keep fighting. The fuel is not burning. We are not on fire. No. Boom. Come on. We don't have fire on deck. Can you please shut up? And, yeah, Alex says that these guns sound like an audio glitch. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. The CWIS does kind of sound like it is an audio glitch. If you have a really poopy audio, then I guess that's not the right audio thing to do. Actually, I might ask the shield bearer to change the sound of the CWIS back to the original one. Because I thought I liked it, but apparently it's not too good, from what I heard. That was the ship right here. That is Kizilkum. I'm pretty sure that's what this thing is called. Yes, Kizilkum. There it is. Overall, very nice fighting ship. Even though it did take a lot of damage, the fact that the bridge is armored is actually kind of really helping it a lot. Because, I mean, armor is work. It stops stuff. Alright, so, yes. Now, to finalize the review on the Kizilkum by Makinov, all I really gotta say is maybe what you could try to do is maybe try to push the budget just a little bit more. Maybe add just a couple more armor pieces. Make this ship a little bit more survivable, but that... Okay, maybe I'm asking too much, but still... the design on its own is really nice. If I choose this ship, then it means that I will for sure have a lot of money left over to buy light interceptors and all of the rest of the fleet for flight to Vera. So, is it likely to get chosen? Yes. But is it also likely that I might choose something else because it's funny? Yes. And yeah, it's okay. It needs a little more high-end though, from the Avali engineer. What do you mean by that? High-end though. Oh, I'm assuming this ship right here. Yeah, the only thing I would change about this ship is I'd probably use maybe one or a couple of these Falx guns. I'll maybe replace one or two of these Molot cannons with a couple of these. I am going to need a lot more ammo for this ship though, but if you do it like this, then you'll have a much more consistently rapid firing guns. And yeah, that's pretty much it from this ship. Missile test, I'm sure that this thing can withstand and also hold out all of the cruise missiles that fly at it because of the CWIS. And also you can arm artillery with proximity fuses. Whew, man. This is getting a little bit, you know. Alright, that's it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice. Treble. Suzuna, what do you mean by treble? You good? I'm not exactly sure. I'm just reading the chat and I'm just seeing. Stay hydrated, y'all. Yes. Beans Navy promotes hydration, especially for all of the ones that we capture. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course. This is Gerat. Water is rare. But anyway, the Kizilkum final review is work. Just change a couple of the Molot cannons to the Falx cannons and you'll be good to go. Missiles can always be interchanged out, so that's not a problem either. Otherwise, really good fighter. And it actually, this is probably the only ship that met the requirement, unironically, that we've reviewed here. So yeah, Kizilkum, maybe I'll see you in a campaign. Maybe not. We shall find out later on. So now, I'm pretty sure we don't have a lot of them left over. As a matter of fact, I think we might actually have only 2 left. So, let's start with who's online. Wait, is Neuro online? Neuro, are you online? I want to ask you. Okay, even if they're not online, I'm going to present their ship right here. This is called Peter the Great. I'm assuming the name comes from Tsar Peter the First, otherwise known as Peter the Great. And from what I can see here, this is actually a really interesting flagship. It has very little armor, only around the most important parts of the ship, so like around the bridge area, in a way. Also around, I'm guessing, the ammo and stuff like that. Just, the armor layout is very sparse. It's very, very, I guess, economical, you could say. But the creator of this ship did make this ship as a form of sort of, how do I say this again, bro? I can't speak today. Strategical flagship. As you can see by the missiles right here, there's a whole bunch of them. These are, interestingly, all of these are H-15P types. I'm assuming this ship was designed for hunting down strike groups. I'm guessing that's what these were designed for. A whole bunch of sprints on the, I'm assuming that's the aft of the vessel. Okay, radars and stuff like that, I think I've already covered for many of the ships here. This ship does an equally great job at sensor warfare and stuff like that. Ooh, it does have only the smaller FCR modules, as you can see here. That's interesting. I'm assuming that was done for cost saving? And also just to fit those in there, you know? And yes, Neuronet, you are here, and here is, yeah, your ship. Very, very interesting flagship you got here. And I'm pretty sure for flight to Hara Vera, this could work if you use this ship very carefully, and not like how I did in my first playthrough. If you actually keep the ship out of trouble, this ship will definitely give a bit of pain to the enemy with all of its missiles and stuff like that. And so, most of the costs right here that you can see, which is only 130,000, that's very low. That's extremely low for a flagship anyway. And also it's hella fast. I mean, 207 kilometers per hour? That's really good. It does have only a range of 3,088 kilometers, but that's not too bad. The fact that this ship costs less than some of the other ones that we've seen, it's good. Yeah. Also, oh yeah, Suzune, that's also one thing I noticed, is that the uncommon approach with the central maneuvering thrusters. Interesting. Yeah, that's also one thing that's kind of wild about this ship. Holy damn. It's actually... What? My brain just broke. As if I have one, but... I just noticed that these thrusters right here are in the middle. Which, they don't do a whole lot of torquing effect, I'm gonna assume. Wait, hold up. What if I try to land this ship? Hold up. I mean, it does a decently well job at strafing to the sides. But I'm not exactly sure why the creator put thrusters, the gimbal thrusters in the middle and stationary thrusters on the sides. I guess we're gonna have to ask Neuronet about that. I'm sure they will have some sort of an answer for this. But otherwise, the armament from this ship is very similarly 130mm Molot cannons. A couple of them, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 of them. A whole bunch of CUs, 37mm, as per usual. Those are quite effective. And, yeah. The ammo layout is kind of jumbled up, but that's okay because at least it's kind of far away from each other. Wait, where's the bridge? Oh, the bridge is right here. Okay, I'm stupid. The only thing that this ship is really missing, you know, as per Bean's Navy protocols, we gotta have an ammo autoloader right next to the bridge. Because it's funny. Because sitting right on an ammo box is one of the most, how do I say, euphoric experiences ever. Alright, okay. I'm seeing quite a bit of a discussion on the landing side of things. Well, okay. Having gimbal thrusters at the middle lessens the energy spent rotating the ship, as the Avali engineer points out really nicely. But we will have trouble with altitude control. Okay, I mean, I could probably land this ship. Hold up. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought those landing gears were different. Okay, never mind. Let's test this one out in combat just to see how the firepower holds up. The armor on this ship is not too amazing. And, well, for what it is, it's pretty economized, I would say. But let's check out the armament that this ship has. Also, I have to watch out for planes because these guys are going to be hella annoying. If they're gonna shoot 37mm at me, I'm also kind of screwed because I don't have any armor on my bulkheads, pretty much. So that's not good. That's something to watch out for. Again, this is a strategical ship. This is not designed to go into combat, but I just wanted to see how the firepower holds up. Wait, do I have my missiles on my own? Also sprints, we can use those to actually stop missiles and stuff like that. Okay, maybe we should not catch all of the enemy artillery shells. Maybe that's a good idea. Come on. Bro, we don't have any fire on deck, please, guys. No, we don't. No, we don't. The ship is also surprisingly maneuverable, despite the fact that the thrusters are in the middle. It's a very weird and unconventional design choice, but I guess that... I don't know, that only really leaves for proper testing to find out, because I mean, what I'm doing here is probably not proper testing, but it's work, I guess. Also, I just lost a whole bunch of ammo, so I can't really use my COS at the moment. Well, I can, but it's just to a lesser extent. Engine lost. So far, I mean, the firepower, it's not exactly having Shkval cannons, but it is definitely something. If a smaller ship gets within range of the Peter the Great, then it will absolutely kick its ass. Also, I am in a bit of a skill issue right now, so, you know, forgive me for that, please. I mean, also, yeah, she does look really cool from afar. I can absolutely agree with Suzune here. From afar, this ship looks like a ship that's literally been lifted off the ground. Kind of. I mean, even the Helsinki kind of looked like a ship, but like a very futuristic, sort of like, I don't know. The design was quite interesting for that one as well. Also, this Zirconian is like sideways, what? Oh, never mind, we won. We always win. We are the Beans Navy. Ah! Rah! Oh, damn. Oof. What is the time on our stream right now? I want to know. So we have been streaming for 2 hours at this point. Ah. Ooh. Man, the cushion is getting awfully mildly comfortable. Anyway. Now, this ship right here, really, despite the fact that it doesn't have a lot of armor, it doesn't have armor whatsoever, the fact that I could maneuver around enemies and fight enemies with just the artillery and the COS to block off any rounds and stuff like that, it makes up for the lack of armor. And this ship can defeat, as you saw, a couple of cruisers. And yeah, even if a smaller ship gets nearby, this thing will absolutely kick ass. Stats are okay, stats are good. Price is really good. And the overall strategical capability of this ship is also really nice. It has a whole bunch of missiles. The only thing I would probably go out of my way to do is probably add a couple of planes to this ship. Actually, no, never mind. There are planes on this ship. A singular T7. One T7 to rule them all. I'm guessing that's what that T7 is for. One thing that also really strikes me is this interesting hull design at the aft right here. I'm not exactly sure why it was designed like this. I'm pretty sure Neuronet might answer this in the chat real quick. But just to recap, this ship, very interesting design. Kind of unconventional thruster placement, but I haven't really seen any problems with it so far. Cruise missiles, always appreciated in the Beans Navy. Artillery, enough to kill a Zirconian and a other ship that was in the combat. A lot of sprints. Actually, a good amount of sprints right here, and on different racks facing upwards. So if one rack gets destroyed, the other ones are fine, and they also face in the same direction, which kind of gives it a bit of an advantage of just a more consistent trajectory and stuff like that. The bridge is armored only there, so like from this side, if you were to shoot at the radars from that angle, I don't know how that would fare, but I mean, this is a strategical ship anyway, so who cares? Now, Now, I guess, you know what, we'll finish with this ship, and we shall finish with, I guess, the final ship of this review. If I did not forget to install any other ships, I hope I did not forget to install anything. Bro, that is actually very, very much possible. I could have actually forgotten to install something. Give me a second, I'll check if I installed everything. We'll do the final ship, or final ships, and we shall then move on. Oh, and speaking of, I did forget to install a ship. All right, so you know what? Let's wrap up this ship right here. So Peter the Great is work. Is very nice. It's a very strategical ship. Is work. All right, let's move on to Russalka, Hara, Vera. Oof. 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 Oh my god, look at this thing. It is just... Whew. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this ship right here. This ship is the Russalka, designed by Malzahir, otherwise known as Homeland University Press here on YouTube. So this guy designed a ship which, as his words say, number one concern was looks. Which, I mean, he did achieve it pretty well. If we think about like a Age of Sail type of trading vessel, almost, it has almost kind of like that shape. I really like these flight decks actually right underneath this ship, and the T7s right here. That is actually really nice touch. And also the T7s up above here. That is a really nice touch. Very nice touch. Now, bro, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the missiles. There's a whole bunch of A100 missiles. And actually, those are the ones I think I replaced those because they kind of glitched out and became A200 Altaris. But that's what the original missiles were. These are good for intercepting. Now, in terms of radar and stuff like that, this is probably the only ship that doesn't really follow the same sort of radars and stuff like that. It only has a singular thermal sensor and a small ELINT, which is nearly half blocked. I guess that's fine. Who cares? I mean, this ship has enough guns to, I guess, stop anything. Speaking of, we have two of these 180mm Shkval cannons. Similar armament to the Sotheis II, or the Sevastopol. And we also have a whole bunch of the 57mm Spag cannons, which are the fast-firing 57mm guns. A lot of those, by the way. So just to point that out, here, everywhere basically. Hull components. This ship is very... Oh, how do I put this? A very unique aesthetic, should I say. Bruh, these armored magazines have this sort of L shape to it. Same goes here. I like how this armor sort of like also like stretches or like kind of intertwines with the armored magazine right here. You see this armor below the missile racks? It goes kind of like this and then it wraps around the... That's a nice touch. That's... I mean, having ammo close to the fuel tanks surely is a good idea. As tested by the Beans Navy for sure. Bridge is high up, as it should be, except for when you're getting an airstrike. Well, in that case, then it's yeah, it's kind of... There's only a little bit of armor stopping. That's fine. Who cares? It's okay. Also, I completely forgot and neglected to say this, but those people who are joining the Beans Navy right now, as we're doing the stream, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard the Beans Navy. I am going to personally welcome everyone once I'm done with the stream, but otherwise, feel free to check out the the channel, sorry, the server. Post some stuff there. Have fun. Now, let's test out this ship in battle. I want to see this thing fight. Okay, not too crazy of a matchup. Memnon at the beginning. That's a good start. Alright, Memnon. Wait, am I launching a missile? Oh yeah, I just realized I do have missiles on this ship. Anyway, I'm gonna start blasting. Because that is what this ship seems to be doing pretty well at. Okay, the Memnon is getting nice and spanked right now. I'm gonna move in to strike the Memnon from below. Even though it's a pretty risky idea because my bridge is at the top of the ship and I could easily get that destroyed. But if I'm careful and if I use my strategy correctly, I should be fine. Inshallah, I guess. Oh, the Memnon's ammo is exploding quite nicely. I'm not sure what exactly is doing that, except for maybe Memnon's artillery hitting the ship? Could be. I mean, there is such a mechanic like that. Also, we do have a Hagrianian at the below area of the what's called the Memnon. That is actually quite a menace. The Hagrianians are very annoying because they have way too many missiles. Both kinds. Strategical and tactical. Okay, now just keep firing at the Memnon. I don't care for being hit with a missile from below. The armor should have probably eaten that damage. I'm mainly concerned about killing the Memnon right now, because that's the most dangerous guy here. The second most dangerous guy here is the Hagrianian, which is this absolute Minecraft cube of a ship. That's just below me. No. No. Fire at this guy, please. Alright, there we go. Look at the Memnon falling down. Ah, bye-bye. Memnon. Bye-bye, pride and joy of the shield bearer. Oof. Wait, hold up. I'm sorry about that. I just gotta check something real quick. Alright. Oof. Here we go. Hit that Zephyr right where it is weak, which is up top. And also from the side in a way. Because if once you manage to penetrate the armor, or like the little cracks in the armor, you can basically just hit either the bridge or the fuel tank and then explode the bridge. Oh, did you see that explosion? That, my friends, was an A200 Altair missile being intercepted mid-air. And we're done with the combat. Now, okay, here we go. Damage report is actually pretty good. Only superficial damage that we have suffered so far. I was hoping that the bridge would get maybe a little bit destroyed from that Memnon. But I guess the Memnon is not as scary as we have anticipated. So, sorry. Now, Russalka. Here we go. This ship, it's certainly very aesthetic, and while it is keeping its aesthetics, it does sort of back up its aesthetics with actual firepower. So yeah, I will give this ship a Isvork award, and we shall move on to some more ships. There's actually a whole bunch more ships that I realize I need to review. So the first ship that I'm going to have to reinstall again is a ship designed by Microscope, which if you give me just a minute, I will actually re-download that. Oh no. I mean, while we're at it, I guess we can just chat while we're at it. I am going to have to close the game and then reopen it again in order to properly load those files into the actual game. Or I mean, can we actually do that? I don't know. Can you review the Empathy flagship? Pretty proud of it. Alexander, I think I could if I have access to it right now. I mean, we could go on with this stream for a little bit longer. I'll just see if I could import all of the ships that I can right now. And Vijaji. Okay. Copy. Paste. There we go. And let's also see some of the other ships here. Flag to Hara, Empathy. There we go. I'm gonna download that one as well. DRG with the community? Mouse? That actually isn't really a terrible idea. Considering the fact that DRG has actually gotten some updates recently. This could actually be an interesting thing to make videos about. For those who don't know, DRG is Deep Rock Galactic. It's basically a game about space dwarves mining on a planet and killing bugs and shit. It's really funny, and it's quite it's quite fun, especially if you play with like a bunch of friends, which I might make a couple of videos about, but only if you leave a like and subscribe on this channel. Cringe ass YouTuber. My fucking promoting. Self promotion. Okay. Turns out I actually can load your ships into the game while the game is open. I just need to reload this page right here. Now, the next ship, Победоносец, otherwise known or translated into English as the Victory Carrier. This ship is very radical compared to all of the other designs that we've seen so far. This one doesn't completely break the budget. This one is not 200 kilometers per hour, but still has a decent enough range of 2,000 kilometers. I mean, for a cruiser type ship like this, that's actually not bad. Now, this was designed by Microscope, otherwise known as... okay, I don't know Polish, so I'm not even gonna... I'll just call you Microscope if that's fine. But basically, Microscope designed this ship as one of the cruisers, or one of the variants of cruisers for Flight to Vera. Actually, Microscope designed a lot of ships for Flight to Vera, and we might actually see a lot of his designs in the streams here and later on. But okay, this ship has a very interesting armor layout. It's kind of also like a heart-shaped, almost kind of like a vanilla Cormoran or like a Nigev, but with like a much sharper bottom and also a slightly sharper top. We do have a couple of A100 missiles. I'm pretty sure that is the Победоносец design thing, I'm pretty sure. There's a whole bunch of ships that Microscope designed, which are very similar to this one. We also have the R9 sprint missiles, racks on either side of the ship as like the top here. Very nice touch actually. And also these side armor plates, just to sort of cover up the sprints and the sensors from any incoming fire from like this angle and that angle as well. I mean, it also has a really good armament. 3 130mm Falx guns. That will surely put at least a couple of holes in whatever ship that you're shooting at. And as the secondary, we of course have 37mm CWIS. Only 3 turrets I'm seeing here. I mean, surely that's enough. And otherwise, thrusters and the fuel tanks, and overall the ship construction is very reminiscent of a either a flight to Hara, like an old design for a... Oh, okay, I forgot the names of these ships, but basically anything that relates to like a Bore... Oh, not Bore, sorry, a Cormoran or a Nigev. But this one is just a little bit sharper. I like that. I like that. The bridge is at the bottom, which means that this ship is resistant to airstrikes. It's not going to get airstriked very easily. It's not going to get killed with an airstrike very easily. Also, Microscope says that side armor can catch cruise missile when the ship is landed too. Oh yeah, I'm assuming that's what this one is for, and also the side armor right here as well. I'm guessing that confirms that this ship is good at stopping missiles. Let's test this one out in combat, see how the firepower of this ship is. We're not getting too crazy of ships here because this isn't too crazy of a ship, but we'll see. So, we do have a Zirconian, and I think the best angle to keep with these ships is either to the side or just above and to the side of them. Also, I absolutely enjoy how whenever I'm using smaller ships, my game is just instantly smoother. I can actually feel like things are flying right past me, bro. Or right into me, I don't know. Okay, kill that plane because it's annoying. Kill that missile because that shit's also annoying. And kill the Sava, because if Sava is an enemy ship, then it's also annoying as hell. Okay, we also have a Republika on the enemy team. That's weird aircraft carrying ship right here. That's the replacement for the Cormoran, by the way, which is kind of interesting. Shieldbearer literally just turned a fighting cruiser into a gigantic aircraft carrier. Wait, should I risk it? No, okay, maybe I shouldn't risk it. I should probably just keep an angle, keep a good angle on this ship, and just keep shooting at the Republika. Actually, maybe it might be good if we can maneuver to a more stronger side. Also, shoot at the enemy artillery to prevent them from hitting us. Oh! We also have guests from above. Ooh, that is a fine-ass explosion. Also, something just fell off. Oh, the armor piece to the port side has actually fallen off. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, I guess it's fine if it falls off, as long as it doesn't damage our ship further as it falls down. I mean, it is only there to, like, protect the sprints and stuff like that. But yeah. And yes, I know, Microscope, it is generally better to stay higher than the enemy with this ship, but I just know that the Sava is pretty weak from the bottom. If you shoot at the bottom of it, you get through the cracks, you can actually explode it. How many times have I said the word explode in this stream, bro? I have no idea. But that's what happens in HighFleet, a lot. Okay, damage report. only superficial damage. We only lost a couple of R9 sprint missiles and a thermal sensor. We also lost a Elint, I'm pretty sure. And we also lost a little bit of armor on the side as well. Not too bad. This is still repairable. If this was a campaign ship, it would still be repairable. Whew, damn. That is the Победоносец, which is truly carrying the Победа. Anyway, now let's move on to the next ship that I was going to take a look at, and that is the Empathy, designed by someone else. I'm gonna have to figure out their name in just a second. Okay, the Победоносец gets a approval from me. It's work. Now let's move on to this ship. Ooh, that is really nice. That reminds me a lot of the Nomad. That reminds me of the Nomad, except that this one has 3 fuel tanks. And I mean, even with the Flag to Hara Vera colors and the paint schemes, this ship looks really cool. I mean, bro, I don't know why, but just the Flag to Hara Vera ship skins look way cooler than the vanilla versions. It just makes any ship look instantly better, especially with those fuel tanks. I mean, also having contrast with the armor and stuff like that. And yeah, the guns also really nicely done. Schubert really did a great job with the mod. And the designer of this ship also really did a great job, even though I don't think I can actually find out the name. Aha, because okay, so this ship is called the Empathy. This one is designed by someone called the, or I'm guessing. Oh no, that's Alexander Zavgorodny. Okay, there we go. Here, finally I figured out who designed who. But yeah, this ship reminds me a lot of the Nomad, with those square fuel tanks right here. Shkval cannons, check. 57mm guns on pretty much every single side, and there's like a pair of them everywhere they are. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Великолепно. In terms of sensors, radar up top, as usual. Elint, kind of covered up by the armor, but still full coverage with the small Elints. Small FCRs in the tower, very nice. Big FCRs on the sides of the ship. I'm assuming that's for strategical purposes of being able to guide stuff. Okay. All right. I'm guessing having bigger components on the outside gives it a more of a unobstructed angle. I don't know. Usually I'd like to keep stuff in one spot, but I guess that's different designs, different things. Missiles, we have a whole bunch of A200 Altair missiles loaded into these missile silos right there. Those are really good. The thing I forgot to say about the Altair missiles is that they are extremely expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if at least like 10% of the cost of a lot of these ships here are from the Altair missiles. Because look, the Altair missile on its own costs 1,800, which if you compare it to a normal A100, it costs 1,200. And a normal cruise missile costs like 1,500. So yeah, Altairs are a bit expensive, but they are pretty effective at intercepting stuff. I probably said that a lot in this stream, but I mean, bro, I have to like make sure everything is known, you know? Ooh, we got nuclear thrusters at the bottom right here. On this side and on this side. Okay, very nice. Nuclear thrusters. Actually, all of these are nuclear thrusters. Okay. Interesting design choice. That is going to make one explosive ship. RD59 engines on the sides. Decently placed here. I think it's going to give a pretty good maneuverability. Otherwise, oh yeah. As I said before, these nuclear engines need a lot of power to operate. Not so much fuel, but a lot of power. And that's why with these designs, you can see a pattern here. I wonder what sort of pattern ships with nuclear engines have. That I can't exactly put a finger on it, but something seems to be in abundance here. I don't know. I guess we'll find that out later. Planes, good. R9 Sprint missiles, good. R5 Zenith missiles in this missile rack right here, good. Even though, and it's also armored at the bottom, partially, which is also really nice. Sprint missiles here, I guess that's fine, it works. The only problem is that the Sprint might hit the radar tower, especially this one right there, the one that's like right next to the radar tower. It might actually collide with either this thing or the armor right there. I haven't actually tested this one out. And also, just a comment from the actual designer of this ship. The consumption is horrendous. That's why I use the nuke engines. Okay, that's understandable. I mean, yeah, the regular RD-51 engines, they consume a lot of fuel compared to the nuclear counterparts. But, I mean, even with those, you have a pretty decent enough range. 5,000 kilometers, not bad. 160 kilometers per hour speed. Okay, nothing to be messed with, but it's not exactly 200. The budget for this ship is slightly over, but it's still not too bad compared to some of the other ships we've seen so far. Now, what else? Okay, jammers from the side. That is very Nomad. That is very Nomad. Wait, have you actually designed this ship based off of the Nomad? Like this is a dead serious question for me, because I'm seeing a lot of design choices that are in the Nomad. I mean, it's a good ship. And I mean, if you just expand it a little bit, you can definitely make it a flagman. Oh yeah, you also do have missiles right here as well. Neat. Alright, let's test it out in combat. Ooh, Resus and Memnon are gonna be crazy. All I'm saying is, guys. Okay, now the Resus has the bridge at the bottom. Thing is, it has a lot of armor on the bridge. But also the bridge is probably the most accessible place in there anyway. Ah, it's so laggy. That's because of the Memnon. Oh, we did lose a couple of missiles, but that's fine. Ooh. What if I just launch all my missiles at once? Ooh, I messed up that Resus so badly from the side. That's actually really good. I need to get to the side of this Resus. I need to also intercept a couple of these missiles right here. There we go. Alright. You shall now receive a hefty pounding. From 180mm artillery. Right into your side. How do you like that? I mean, seems enjoyable. Oh shit. You're not gonna be able to see it, but here's a ship. as well. That is fast approaching me. That's the Republika, by the way. That's the big aircraft carrier that's we fought, I think, previously. Okay, let's do the good old tactic of getting below the Memnon, splitting him into two, as we always do. Except we don't have actually a lot of top armor, which could be a concern. But if we act quickly, we can maybe stop him. Okay, intercept that missile. Okay, now please, Memnon, die. That would be highly appreciated of you. Look, I get it. I get it. You're Shield Bearer's flagship. I get it. Look, Shield Bearer took a lot of time designing you, bro. Like, it's his pride and joy. And I'm currently pounding it with my artillery. Like, I get it. But you gotta take the glory and honor of being absolutely bombarded by the beans, baby. Boom, boom. I'm on. Oh, we've just experienced an ammo explosion. That's not good. We're having fire problems. No, it's okay. It's good. We're fine. We're fine. No, we're fine. We're fine. How is this Memnon still alive? What in the actual fuck? How is it still alive? Well, that doesn't really matter, because we still have the Republika to deal with. I'm gonna shoot at that guy instead. The Memnon's going to die anyway, so yeah, that's not really too much of a surprise. I think I'll actually try to sail more upwards, just so that I can get more armored sides on. There we go. Okay, maybe maneuver a little bit, maybe rotate a little bit towards the enemy. There we go. Oh, I think only one Shkval turret is actually working. Ah, shit, I lost one Shkval. That's actually not good. Losing a Shkval in battle is really bad. Okay, get rid of the marine disembarking pods. We don't want to have any marines on our ships. There we go. How are you still flying? How are you still flying? Oh, don't retreat. No! God damn it. God damn it. I accidentally shoved the ship into the retreat button. And we were so close. We almost killed the Memnon. Ah! Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna disparage this news. Alright, so that is the that's the Empathy Flight to Hara Vera version, designed by Alexander Zavgorodny. There we go. And as he says, he did only design this for looks, which I guess that explains the entire nomad vibes that are coming from this ship. Of course, you know, the jammers, the armor, just the overall ship layout. Like, it's very straight and uniform, but in a good way. It is quite aesthetic. Even if you apply Flight to Hara Vera rules to this ship, it'll work. What do I think of it as a flagship, though? I guess it can work because of the... I guess if you want a vanilla type of flagship that looks good, that is good enough, but also pretty bad enough, you know what I mean? You know how vanilla ships are kind of good, but they're also kind of bad? But it's the badness that makes them good. And that's kind of the thing that I'm seeing from this ship right here. Yeah. that is going to be it for this ship right here. Is work. The empathy is work. And so now, let me take a look at more flagships. Maybe see if you guys are actually posting flagships right now. I mean, hell, keep the flow going. I mean, we still have time, right? Surely. I mean, surely we still have time, right? All right. Wow. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be completely real, Joe, guys. I'm actually kind of feeling a bit tired right now. You know what? I'm feeling tired. I think I'll have to keep it there. You know what? This was actually really fun to do because you guys really actually kind of surprised me with your flagships. The guys who posted the flagships from before are kind of interesting. They really surprised me with their absolute horrendous, just absolutely atrocious disregard for the requirements for the actual campaign. I mean, overall, all of the flagships that we've seen so far are pretty solid. Some of them are more expensive than others. Some of them are more smaller than others. Others are more strategical than others. But yeah, that's kind of the beauty of having the community put all of their ships together. It's you get to see the different war crimes caused in the shipworks and whatever substances those designers were on as they were building the ships. Now, for all of the other types of ships that we are going to be featuring, so light interceptors, heavy combat ships for fighting strike groups, support ships or E-war ships, missile carriers, aircraft carriers, and potentially maybe even other kinds of ships. I am going to do more streams, just like this one, really soon. And you guys will get to design these different types of ships. The next stream is going to be about light interceptors. And just for reference, for everyone who's going to design light interceptors, where is it? Okay, there we go. Lightning. Now, right here is the Myrkinos, one of my favorite ships in the entire game, because that, in my definition, is a good example of a light interceptor. It's fast, it has guns, I guess it does lightning things, I suppose. And what I want you guys to do until the next stream is to design something to outperform this little guy right here. So I'm talking maybe not 500 kilometers an hour, maybe something higher than 426 kilometers per hour, something that also has a slightly bigger combat time, maybe 250, 300, something around that. One thing that I could recommend doing for this one is maybe you could design a ship like a Myrkinos, but with a big fuel tank in the middle of it, just as an example, just as an inspiration. Or if you want to design your own light interceptors, feel free to do that as well. Now, okay, I feel like I've gotten my message for the next stream already put down. That is actually going to be it for this one. I'm feeling a bit exhausted right now, so I think I'll finish it here. It was an honor having everyone from you guys here in the stream. The next stream is probably going to be within like 3 days. Like I feel like it's reasonable. We need time to give you guys to design ships, so that kind of also makes a thing. I will let you know when the next stream is going to be online, or I guess, or when that will happen. Hopefully there's not going to be very many delays and stuff. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I'm actually going to switch up to the final screen here. There we go. Why is my thing not working? My thing is working. Now, to finish off this the stream, I got one final message to say, and then I shall go. Oh, wait, no. I don't have it here. Never mind. So, that was it. That's it from this one. I hope to see you guys very soon in the next stream with your light interceptors for Flight to Hara campaign. I will also release more information about the next campaign for Flight to Hara in the next stream, because right now I don't really have everything confirmed just yet. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Rah!